Hello and welcome to Business in Japan TV. Starting a business anywhere in the world is a challenge. The financial risks are huge. You work crazy hours, make a lot of sacrifices, and the sheer fear of failure, especially in a country like Japan, is enough to dissuade many. For those who do venture out though, the rewards may be great, but the journey, long and arduous. There's this never-ending feeling of so much to do and so little time to do it. You pour your energy and passion into developing others, but have you stopped to think, where are the inputs for me? How could you replenish your own motivation, commitments, and strengths when you're busy working on everyone and everything else? I visited the Dale Carnegie High Performance Training Center and sat with Dr. Greg Story, president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan, to understand what entrepreneurs can do to be successful. Greg, thank you and welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you, Robert.
Greg, entrepreneurs as a breed are highly motivated individuals. Why do they need to worry about their own motivation?
Well, as you mentioned before, Robert, entrepreneurship, high risk, high return, a lot of pressure on the individual leading, and the individual leading sets the tone for the whole company. So they have to be at a high motivation level all the time, regardless of what's going on in the business world for them. That's not so easy because we are emotional beings. We're up and down in our emotions. So getting something back for yourself to keep your own motivational level high, build yourself as opposed to always building your people is important, get the balance. And by topping up your own motivation, you set the pace for the whole team and you keep their motivation very high.
If anything, entrepreneurs are self-confident and self-aware. What confidence do they need to rediscover?
We're all confident in our comfort zone. So we have our routine, we have the things we're very competent in doing at work, and so we tend to work within that frame very, very comfortably, hence the term comfort zone, and easily. However, as an entrepreneur, we need to go out and try new things. We're often launching new businesses or new business lines, or we're trying different things. Well, that requires that you step outside your comfort zone where you're not automatically good at it. You haven't got a track record in that area yet. That is very confronting. So the ability to move out of your comfort zone, have that motivation and confidence to do that is a big requirement for success.
Well, you said, as entrepreneurs, we do a lot of things. And as I said earlier, there's so much to do and so little time to do it. How important then delegation becomes?
Yeah, well, it's like, everyone believes in delegation as a principle, but they don't apply it very well. And the reason they don't apply it very well is the way they delegate things to people doesn't work very well. If I turn up and I suddenly go, boom, on your desk with a whole project list of things to do, and I walk away and say, Robert, take care of that. That's not delegation, that's called dumping. But that is basically what a lot of people are doing in leadership terms. What we really need to do is have a conversation with the person we're delegating to and get their buy-in. This part is usually missing. What's in it for me as the person being delegated to is a critical factor that's often lost. So that communication piece, getting the buy-in and getting them to take ownership, critical in having a successful delegation, but often that's not how it's done. And so there's a best practice way of doing delegation that works, and then there's what most people are doing, which doesn't work, and then they say, delegation doesn't work. Well, delegation does if it's done properly.
Well, you mentioned an interesting point there, communication. So can you define real communication? And sounds like people skills are important when communicating.
Yeah, most, particularly entrepreneurs, they're often the founders, they're very dynamic, they've got a lot of themselves tied up in the enterprise. So they tend to be very directive. Do this, do that, I want this, I want that. People can be coerced to cooperate, or you can have willing cooperation. Which would you prefer? Ordering people around, being very powerful, strength of will, that's coercion. Being a good communicator, getting people to be involved and have ownership of what's going to happen, to be feeling they're part of the decision-making structure, that's where you're going to get willing cooperation and knowing how to appeal to different people. Some people are very micro-focused, some people are very big picture focused, some people are very fast-paced, and other people, take their time, very considered. If you're applying your one powerful mechanism all the time, you're only going to really strike a chord with someone who's similar to you. The other three individuals are not really going to be on your wavelength. So people skills and communication skills means understanding that people are different and knowing how to apply a communication pattern for each person which resonates with that person the best.
Well, that sounds like a lot. Do you offer tailored training courses for entrepreneurs to help entrepreneurs with these issues?
Yeah, we have a brilliant program where we deal with all these issues around self-confidence, getting out of your comfort zone, getting willing cooperation as a leader, advancing your communication skills, understanding your people skills, and also, very importantly, dealing with stress. Now, most of us don't know how to deal with stress. We just, typically men particularly, we just sort of suck it up and persevere. Long-term health ramifications of that, not good. Better if we learn to deal with our stress as we go through, because we'll always have stress. And so this one particular course, the Dale Carnegie course, captures all of those elements in the one place. So it's a great one-stop shop for entrepreneurs to get those key skills they need to help them take their business to the next level.
Greg, thank you for your time and sound advice. I've certainly learned a lot that will help me on my entrepreneurship journey.
My pleasure, Robert.
Thank you for watching Business in Japan TV. Thank you, Greg.